Welcome to the 2021 October Auction Glow Up. For those who have never heard the term glow up before, all the kids on TikTok are using it. It's a reference to make something more attractive. So today, we're glowing up all the lots for our auction in Niagara Falls Convention next month. But before we begin, let me quickly introduce you to some of the auction team. These are the folks who make all the magic happen. You might give me all the credit because I'm the pretty face, but the truth is, it's this team that puts all the auction together. Please put some ones in the chat and your hands together for Judy Dawson, Harry Wastrack, Dave Hofmeister, and Larry Herold. There are a few others that are part of the auction team but could not be with us at this moment. We do appreciate them for all their hard work and efforts. Hello, everyone. Thank you all for joining us today to discuss these special decks. Judy, are you excited?
Always, always. Auctions have always been one of my favorite parts of our club.
Dave?
This is a blast. I can't wait to show some of this great stuff that we have.
We just started. Harry?
Hey, I'm here.
You excited?
I am absolutely excited to be the auctioneer for our October auction.
Great. And we're happy that you are the auctioneer for our auction in October. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to go through each of the lots. What I'll do is I will read the lot number, then Larry will read the description, and then we'll have a little discussion. Hope that sounds good with everyone. Okay,
Perfect.
Then let's do it.
Okay, lot number one, David Blaine's B Split Spades. It's two highly collectible mint seal decks from 2007. They're both 52 plus 2 jokers. They're as issued in the original box in OB1 condition. Very hard to find. Good chance to own these two decks.
Yes, these are among the first decks David Blaine ever printed. And it kind of starts here. So if you're into like Mark Stutzman, who did the artwork, and you're into David Blaine decks, modern collecting decks, then this is a lot for you.
These, I assume, are black and white, right?
I believe so.
Color in this box.
Let's show the image. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see right through the see-through that the David Blaine logo that Mark created. The suits are probably red and black. But the backs, yeah, it's probably a back. I don't know. We haven't opened them because they're very hard to get a hold of, and we don't want to open them. But that's a good question, Judy. All right, let's move along to lot number two.
Lot number two is New Era number 46. It's from 1897. It's one of the loveliest decks ever made. It's a beautiful deck by USPC. This deck is 52 plus joker in mint condition. It's very hard to find in mint condition. OB1 minus, it's Hockman 20A. It's a beautiful deck. There's a series of decks by all the card makers in the late 1890s. This is one of the most beautiful decks ever made by USPC.
Yeah, this is a beautiful deck. Judy, can you tell us a little bit about this deck?
I don't think I can tell much more than what he said, but it is such an Art Nouveau style of deck. There are two designs for this deck, and in my mind, this is the better one. It's much more vivid than the other one, but the court cards are actually a little different. The other ones are a little bit more old-fashioned, but there are two different designs for this deck.
Okay. And I read in the Hawkman, if I remember correctly, that these decks didn't sell so well in the beginning. And so that's why they're so scarce now, because there aren't many of them.
They're less common than some of the other USPC decks.
It's a beautiful deck. Okay, let's go to lot three.
Lot three is the Cary War Cards book. This is edition number 203 out of 250. It's 94 pages. If you collect war cards, this is a must-have book. It's from 1937. It pictures Cary's deck, the man himself from Armentières. And Melbourne Cary had a wonderful collection that's now housed at the Yale University Library. And it's a thin book, but he did his deck with the press of the Woolly Whale for the members of his unit from World War I.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Do you know how many plates there are in that, Larry?
I do not.
There's a lot, though, aren't there? A lot of the plates of the decks, right?
I'd have to look at the book to tell you, I'm sorry.
The book, I have the book in hand. It has a lot of illustrations, a
It
lot
does have a look.
of the actual cards. Most of them are black and white, but there are some in color. And the book itself is in beautiful condition.
How many pages, David?
It's a little over 90. And, you know, it has a really wealth of information about cards dating back to the 1600s up to the pre-World War II, 1937, when it was printed. But it's got some great information. It's loaded with information. And he was obviously an expert in this sort of thing. So yes, anybody who collects war cards or has interest in decks of cards that were issued for or in commemoration of war heroes or battles would really love this book.
And if you look at the pictures that we've shown, you have some newish war decks. You also have like an old British war decks too.
All right, let's go to lot number 4.
Lot number 4 is some French costume cards from 1856. Beautiful costumes on the courts. The pip cards are rather standard. It's 51 in very good condition. There's no box and it's missing the King of Clubs. And there's a major tear on the Jack of Hearts. And that's a shame because the court cards are the ones that count for these decks. There's a series of French costume decks and they're all very pretty costumes of their time.
And what's the
Nice.
condition, Larry? The condition?
It says over here, VG condition and no box.
You can see it's bent from the Jack of Spades there.
I don't know if that's card is actually bent or if that's just the way the photo came.
I think it says, Harry, that it's quite, what do you call it when it's inverted like this?
Warped.
Thank you. I think that said it.
Well, I don't think the pictures of the warping, I think the warping would be on the sides to fold the deck like this, not this.
Because it was hard to get the pictures. I know that, I think, did Steve do this or did one of you guys do this where it was hard to flatten it so that it was square, but it is square. You
Right.
see it, it goes in, it's concave, but it is not a concave deck.
Right.
Because it's a bit warped.
I think this was a photography issue as much as anything.
All right, let's move along to lot number 5.
Lot number 5, Army and Navy number 303 from 1884. This is from Russell and Morgan. It's 52 plus Joker in VG to excellent condition. OB2 for the box. It's Hockman US 5. It's by USPC.
I think that the ace, is the ace the Navy ace and the Joker the Army Joker? I'm not sure about the ace because I can't. see
The
it
ace
very
says
well.
Army and Navy.
Joker, ace, I mean?
The ace says Army and Navy.
Okay.
The
It doesn't
Joker's a
have
beautiful
picture.
Navy Joker, Army Joker.
Nice piece to own as a Hoffman, as a USPC deck though. And I love the box, which is probably original.
Yeah, I believe it says in the Hoffman that it solved the problem of instead of putting out 2 decks, they could put out 1. I'll let people look that up in the Hoffman. It's a US 5, I believe.
Well, it is definitely commoner than the actual Army or the actual Navy deck. In my mind, in all the years I've collected, there's been more of these turn up than the original Navy or the original Army deck. Actually, the Joker is the second Joker that was from the Army and the Navy deck. So they produced an Army and a Navy deck in 2 different ones. The one that's in the lovely reproduction box is the original one. And then the second one had the nicer Jokers and from aces. That much I know.
Great. All right, let's go to lot number 6.
Lot number 6 is the Siegfried Heilmeier Transformation deck from 1989. It's 52 plus 2 Jokers in mint condition and OB1 minus, so it's a slightly not perfect box. Beautiful transformation cards. Siegfried Heilmeier, like Elaine Lewis, did a number of his decks in the 1980s and 1990s. They're very pretty. This is a limited edition deck. It's number 71 out of 165. And if you look at the illustrations, it's a very nice transformation deck.
It's a pretty deck, especially if
It's a very
those who
pretty
like
deck.
transformation decks.
It is a pretty deck.
Okay, let's get to lot number 7.
Lot number 7 is In Castle Land, number 1113 from 1896. It's by Fireside Game Company, which was part of USPC. It's 52 plus extra card in near mint condition with OB2 condition box. So there's a bunch of games from the Fireside Game Company. They're all very informative and they're fun to own. This is one of them.
The Fireside games were not nearly, there's not nearly as many of them as they are when they became the Cincinnati Game Company. There's many, many less of the Fireside games. I think there's only about 11, but I'm not sure.
I thought there were 32 in total, but maybe that's after they became.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot as the Fireside game ones.
This is number 1113, which is like 13. And I think
Oh, well, then
goes up
there's
to,
more than I thought. There's
it goes up to like
It's not a lot.
32, 30 something.
I did a long article on these decks. I think they're very cool and very good.
Yeah,
So,
that back design. Look at that back design. Okay, let's go to lot number 8.
Lot number 8 is the Tiffany Harlequin deck from 1879. It's in 52 cards in near mint condition. It's Hockman T4. And it's what I consider the most beautiful American deck ever made. Beautiful transformation cards. The artist was C.E. Carroll. He did it for Tiffany and Company. And it comes in, if I recall, there's different back colors for this deck. There's green and red
and blue.
and blue.
The very rare blue one that Lenny had in his auction, which is the only one I've ever heard of in absolutely gorgeous pale blue. Don't you remember, Larry, years ago at his auction? It went for a lot of money because it was blue.
But this one is not blue.
No, this is either red or green. As Larry said, the red and green are the most common. Basically, I think the red is the most common, but I'm not even sure. But I agree with you. I think it is one of the most clever transformation decks ever. This deck.
Okay, lot number 9.
Lot number 9 is Butch Singles from the 1950s. There's 12 different singles featuring delightful Cocker Spaniels. Butch is among various amusing situations displaying their rambunctious nature. The artist is Albert Stahl. 8 of the cards advertise local businesses. There's 12 cards in VG to excellent condition. It was made by Brown and Bigelow in the 1950s. Brown and
Cary,
Bigelow
my
is a
friend.
Minnesota company.
Yeah, the artist's name is pronounced Staley. And he is the man who created Smokey the Bear.
Oh,
I
You
just
did,
learned
an
something.
you did an article on this for me once.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. I wonder how many, it's too bad Barbara and Kitty aren't here because there must have been a lot of different backs produced with this
Oh, yeah, this is,
spaniel,
well,
this
there's,
Springer
there's,
Spaniel.
there's much more, I'm sure.
Yeah. I love them. They're very cute.
and these you said from Brown and Bigelow. These are from the 50s.
Right. 50s and into the 60s.
Very nice. Okay, lot number 10.
Lot number 10 is Corby's Canadian Whiskey. It's a Canadian deck from around 1925, 52 plus Joker plus 2 extra cards. It's as issued, OB1 minus, so almost a perfect box. It's wonderful back is titled A Little Touch. If you like advertising decks, here's a nice whiskey advertising deck from the 1920s during Prohibition. So, although that's
check in.
Canadian, so they didn't
Let's
have
check in with
Prohibition.
our resident Canadian and whiskey expert.
The card says a teaspoonful sugar, 1 wine glass, Corby special whiskey, and a yolk of 1 egg. Then you mix it all together.
Equals yuck.
The hangover cure? What is that?
Well, it's hot toddy. You're supposed to heat it up.
Ah,
Any advertising decks in my mind with an extra card is worth it. Anyway,
very cool. Okay, lot number 11.
Manhattan Playing Cards, very rare brand from around 1900. It's 52 cards, VG condition, no box. It's Hockman PU18, Perfection Playing Card Company. I assume this deck came with a Joker that we don't have. It says the Ace of
I don't
Spades has a
think-
small
I-
edge here. The Ace of Diamonds is torn and the Nine of Diamonds is creased. But it's a very rare manufacturer. A nice old deck, 120-year-old deck.
I don't think any perfection deck would ever have been made without a Joker.
I've never heard of the Manhattan Card Company.
They they would it was Kalamazoo and everyone that came after them, like Russell. They're like their inexpensive brands would be put out, I think, underneath the Manhattan Playing Card Company. Like that back, and especially that ace, that's perfection. Like you can see the perfection.
Yeah,
I just removed the word perfection. All right, let's get to lot 12.
Lot 12 is the Hargrave book. Beautiful book of history of playing cards. It's from 1930 by Catherine Perry Hargrave. It's 468 pages. This is in excellent condition. It's missing the cover jacket, which playing card collectors probably don't care that much about, but book collectors do. It's got lots and lots and lots of illustrations. And it's a beautiful old reference book for playing cards.
Most of these books that turn up don't have the dust jacket. It's quite rare to get the dust jacket. It's an amazing book, no matter whether it has a dust jacket or not, really. Every good card collector should have this book.
Absolutely.
Well, it comes out in paperback too.
Yeah.
But my copy of this book has the dust jacket and is signed by Catherine Perry Hargrave. And she gave it to Mr. Onwake at USBC, and he also signed the book.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. What a,
That's great.
and did it come? We had one, of course, I don't have any of this anymore, but it did come in a cardboard sleeve. Do you have yours in a cardboard sleeve as well?
No, I do not have the cardboard sleeve.
Oh, no, this one, Mars, but we did not have it signed by, I don't think anybody that I can remember anyway. I haven't seen it for a while.
And just to make everything clear, this is not a signed edition. There are no Hargrave signature, no Onwake signature. It's just a beautiful edition.
It
of
is a
History of
beautiful
Playing Cards.
book.
And this is not a small book. This is a large volume book.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
her work is incredible. She was the librarian for the USPCC. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, she was. I don't know if she was the first librarian, but she was certainly the librarian.
I could not find any biography on her on the internet. So
Again, there was a great article about her in Card Culture a few months ago, and it's a real deal article. Go check it out.
all right.
All right, let's move along.
Lot number 13 is the Beatles cards. It's 52 plus 2 jokers in mint condition, OB1 minus for the box. It says over here from the Apple archives with photos from the 1960s. Each card is a different photo. The Ace of Diamonds is a beautiful portrait of each Beatle taken from the 1968 White Album.
Nice. With a little help from my
2009.
friends. Dave, can you take us on a magical mystery tour of this deck?
Very brief one. It is a very cool, unusual deck. I hadn't seen this one before. There are other Beatles decks out there, probably not licensed by Apple, but this one is. The illustration, the photos actually on the cards are pretty much all color. The deck's in beautiful condition. And one thing I would note in the auction pages, it mentions that it is USA, which I assume means it was printed in USA. It is not. It was printed in China. It was designed in Canada. So it is truly an international thing. But it's beautiful. For anybody who loved the Beatles and is looking for any kind of Beatles souvenir deck, it's outstanding.
You
Great.
can pair it with my
Thank you,
monkeys
Dave.
deck.
Pardon?
You can pair it with my
It's-
monkeys deck.
It's a stepping stone to the Beatles deck, Larry.
Yes.
Okay, let's get to lot number 14.
Lot number 14 is Sportsman number 202. It's from around 1900. It's 52 plus Joker in near mint condition. Its box is OB1 minus. It's Hockman US 2C. It says this Series A deck has Fashion Series #1 back and possibly the third Retriever Joker. Sportsman was a nice brand. Nice Joker there.
What
Nice.
does
Judy, can you tell us something about
the
this?
ace? Can you read the bottom of the ace? Can anybody read that?
Bottom of the ace,
What does it say? Like, is it,
manufactured by the United States Playing Card Company, Cincinnati, USA.
Okay. So it doesn't have any reference back to Russell Morgan or anything?
No, it does not.
So I think it might be a little bit later than what's in the book, but the book certainly isn't perfect.
No, it's
All
only United States Playing Card Company.
Yeah.
So it's
Okay.
probably later than Russell and Morgan cards.
Yeah. And even Russell and Morgan Factories, which was in 1900s. So I'm surprised it's quite as old as it. Nice looking deck. Anyway,
Yeah, it's a beautiful deck. Okay, lot number 15.
Apollo cards from 1895. Nice, beautiful example of this deck. It's Hockman NU8A by National Playing Card Company. It's 52 plus Joker in mint condition. OB1, a nice, good box. If you like old standard decks, Apollo's a nice brand.
something
Yeah, and those brownie
interesting in
jokers are
that
always
picture,
fun.
and I'm glad to see it, is that little stamp.
Hmm.
At one point, Tom and I collected those little stamps. They're really cool that are on the back of the early, a lot of them, you know, there's all the companies early on had those little stamps on the Glacine wrapper. And they're very cool, actually, and really, they were fun to collect. Hard
Oh,
to
yeah.
find.
This deck comes with a paper box like you see here, but it also comes with a slip box that goes over that. So there's another box in addition to this one.
That is so rare. We have only ever owned one deck like that, and it wasn't this deck. That's a very rare packaging, and I love packaging, so.
That's great. Only here at the 52 plus Joker auction.
Yeah. Never saw one, never saw an Apollo deck like that. Or with the.
Yeah,
tape.
Samuel Murray
Yeah, we
made some
did.
great stuff.
Yeah,
Okay, let's move along. Lot number 16.
Lot number 16 is Swiss Costumes. It's from around 1860. It's a German deck. It's 52 in excellent plus condition, so there's no box. It says it's by Wust. It's Fournier number, Germany number 123. Beautiful custom deck. Wust was a famous German maker, one of the most famous German makers that obviously disappeared before World War II.
He also made stamps.
scenes of Switzerland. The aces, which are double-ended, I can see different designs on each end. Are they Swiss? Does anybody know?
Which Wust is a Swiss maker. He's not German, is he?
It's
Wust
a
is-
Swiss deck.
Wust is German.
Oh, okay.
Wust, not only German, but Jewish.
Who?
Go from there.
So is Dondorf, but we won't get into that.
Yeah, that's why all disappeared in the 1930s.
All right. Any other questions about this deck?
Oh, it's a beautiful deck.
It's a gorgeous deck. Okay, let's move along. Number 17, Larry.
Buster Brown from 1906 by USPC. It's Hockman N8. It's 52 plus Joker in mint condition, OB2, so average box with a little damage.
It's a patience deck.
These cards are smaller in size, please note that, but they have very nice illustrations on them.
That's an
Humor
easy by
is definitely
USPCC.
not modern humor, but it's such a cute little comic deck all the way through. Everyone has a little comic on it. You will joke or whatever.
Did you read
Little
the
deck.
Buster
I like
Brown
miniature
comic strip, Judy?
decks. Hmm?
Did you read the comic strip when you were younger?
No, my gosh, no, this is really old. I'm not that old. This
I didn't mean
date is
that.
like really old.
Yeah, you
I think
did.
it's like 1908 or something, but thanks, Lee, for that. I do look young for my age if I was born then, right?
The lighting is excellent in there, Judy.
Thanks, Lee.
You're welcome. Okay, let's go to lot number 18. See if I can redeem myself.
Okay, we have 3 worshipful singles from between 1884 to 1889. They're from the Worshipful Company. There are 3 cards between VG and excellent condition. They're made in England. The Worshipful Company goes back to the 1700s, but I'm not sure when they started making the Worshipful decks. These are very beautiful back designs, and the Worshipful backs are highly collected.
Okay, I want to show you something that I'm doing.
Hold on, Judy, hold on.
I really love this. I'm doing this for my family. So with something like that, you can get these very inexpensive Umbra frames with glass on either side, and then you can frame these really beautiful cards like this, which is kind of a nice idea if you're just going to have a few. Okay,
Very nice. And those are worshipful as well.
Mine aren't worshippers, they're just pretty cards. I have a big collection of this kind of stuff, so I just decided I'd do this for someone.
I see. So if you're saying someone buys singles, this is a beautiful way to display those. singles.
Yeah, I'm looking right now for ones that would hold just exactly 3. It's just a nice way and to put them on the walls. And anybody in my family, as you know, I have a very large family that has seen these, just loves them. Like the kids would really like to have these, my grandkids. It's just a memory of Tom and me, but it is makes a very attractive picture for your wall.
Absolutely. Okay. And real quickly, we have a current board member who is the senior warden of this company. Amazing British card history with the Worshipful. So whoever gets these cards is very lucky. Okay, lot number 19.
Is Climax number 14 from 1905 by Andrew Doherty Company. It's Hockman AD 37. It's 52 plus Joker in near mint condition, OB1 minus box. A nice example of the Doherty backs, Doherty Joker. Nice ace of spades there.
What's the condition?
It says near mint condition.
It's a,
These are one of the higher quality brands.
this is not
that
a
Doherty
very, very rare deck, but it's a lovely example of an earlier American deck.
Yeah, and that ace. I'll always love that ace. Okay, let's
Still
go ahead, Judy.
outstanding
Sorry.
in these old decks.
Say that one more time. What'd you say, Judy?
I said the aces were always outstanding on the early decks of the
Absolutely.
decks.
Especially Doherty. Especially.
Just like the book plate. You know, I always say it's like the title page of a book.
Yep. Okay, let's get to lot number 20.
Hustling Joe from 1895 by USPC. Another turn of the century deck. Another beautiful sort of transformation deck. It's 52 plus Joker, VG condition. OB3 minus is the box, so basically the box is beat the crap. But it's a beautiful deck. And this is Hockman T9 because there's 2 versions of Hustling Joe. And this is, I guess, the first one.
No
I
second.
can't tell.
The first one was in the last auction with the rough edges. And, oh no, you're right. You're right. I'm sorry. You're absolutely right, Larry.
Yes.
Edges came out because they felt you could see whether they were yellow or blue backgrounds or whatever, right?
Right. The edges are on the second one are white,
This is-
so that you can't tell what the
yeah.
cards are.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a very beautiful deck. Okay, Larry, lot number 21.
Lot number 21, Salon de Magie from 2010. It's 52 plus 2 Jokers. It's as issued. Mint sealed deck by a well-known collector of magic memorabilia and former club member. His house is housed in an abandoned mine in Ohio.
That's the word on the street. he has a beautiful collection, like an incredible collection that maybe only rivaled the David Copperfield collection. And it was
A
apparently
lot
you
of
have to go
people, at one
into
of
it
our
with mine.
conventions, people went to see his collection. Did you go, Larry?
I did go to his collection, and one of the things he had was a light heavy box
Yes.
that was taken to Egypt or something to stop a war in the early 1800s.
It was the
Oh,
Robert
cool.
Houdin. We'll let people Google
Wow.
that because we're getting off topic here. But yes, he had
Okay,
an
that's-
incredible magic collection. And this deck is an homage to that collection. And for playing card peoples, he's also the guy that he was the one that got the John Snyder Jr. playing card collection. So his playing card collection was pretty impressive too.
Is
Sadly,
this
he
just a
passed away.
off
Sorry?
subject? Is this just a standard deck?
Yes,
Okay,
yes, this is an homage to his collection.
yeah, it's just
There's no
just the
magic.
back, really. Okay,
Yeah, and it's made by Liberty. It's a very cool deck if you're into magic. Okay, let's get to the next lot, lot number 22.
Lot number 22 is Carte Indienne by Grumeau. It's Fournier number 369. It's from 1890. It's 52 in excellent condition. It says OB2 minus, but it's actually OB3. The box is damaged and is stained. This deck is complete. It did not come with the Joker. So another turn of the century deck, this time by the French card maker. Beautiful deck. And one of the things that's different about it, it has gold ink on the pip cards. And if you hold it at a certain angle, you can see the gold ink shine.
There's a lot of gold highlights in this, isn't there, Barry?
Yes, there's a lot of gold highlights in this deck.
Yeah.
Beautiful
It's a
deck.
stunning deck. I think it's a stunning deck.
So
It was made in Spain or France?
no, this is a French deck by Grimaud. So like
said
the
Fournier, though,
Gondorf in
yes.
Germany had the Four Continents deck. This is Fournier's nice turn of the century, similar type deck. Beautiful pictures of Indian royalty.
Very cool. Beautiful deck.
And all the aces are really beautiful too, similar to that ace that's there.
Okay, lot number 23.
Lot number 23 is Mythological Zoo by Dick Martin. It's Hockman number N47. It's 52 plus Joker in mint condition with the wrapper. And this is number 5 of a limited edition of 200. Of the uncolored decks, there was also 100 colored decks. Beautiful deck. It was done for Chicago playing card collectors.
Yeah, Harry, do you know anything
Has a
about this deck?
mythological
Yeah,
picture on it.
Run that by me.
Do you know anything about this deck, Harry?
No, I was going to point out that this is one of the black and white decks. Other than that, I have it here. It's in mint
It's a
condition.
CPCC deck, right? They did two for their 2 years in a row, and this was one of them.
They made them. This is the one.
Dick Martin was a member of that club. Oh, he also illustrated one of the
Yes.
their Alice in Wonderland books.
This was done by a guy named Dick Martin. He did the one for
Yeah.
their 10-year anniversary too.
Facts
Yeah.
and Fancies?
Yeah, he did that one, and then this is for the 20th anniversary.
What about his partner, Dan Rowan?
Captain Fancy is a wonderful deck. I love it.
Yeah, both of his decks are fantastic.
Yeah, they're really, really nice.
But there's nothing. It's just printed on coarse cardboard, really.
And that's the wrapper.
That's the
I don't
wrapper.
think it didn't come with a box, right?
No,
No, it only
no
came in a
box.
wrapper.
Yeah, okay.
It's a very cool deck. Anyone
I
who
haven't
wins
owned it
this is
for a
very
long
lucky.
time.
Okay, lot number 24.
Orphan Boys Tobacco from 1903. It's Hockman AB1. It's a USPC, 52 plus an ed card in near mint condition, OB2 box. Orphan Boy Tobacco is not a brand of tobacco I've ever heard of before, but if it's AB1, it's one of the early tobacco decks. And this is in nice condition for a deck like this.
Larry, you never smoked a pack of these before?
Nope.
How about a half
It's mi-
pack?
It's missing the Joker, but I think this is an amazing deck myself.
Yeah, ad decks are always fun because you get to learn about the
Oh,
company, what
Love
they did,
the
and how
ad
long they
decks,
lasted.
as you know.
So I'm sorry, Judy, say again.
Somebody said they don't collect these ad decks, which Tom and I really loved all the ad decks, but they don't collect them because there's an infinite number of them. They go on and on and on, and you could never get them all. That's for sure. When we did the appraisal at USPC, they had a sample book like I've never seen before. It was so thick. And in that sample book was an example of every box, every ace, every joker, and the back. And it was an unbelievable book. I would have given my right eye teeth to own it. It was amazing, but it was just like, that's how many decks at one point that they had that were advertising decks.
That's impressive. Okay, lot number 25.
Defiance number 91 playing cards. We're on 1898. It's Hockman CDA 38 by the Cobb Clark Company. It's 52 plus Joker plus 2 ad cards. It's as issued with the wrapper. And look at that Joker, beautiful different Joker. And this is a Canadian deck also.
Mhm.
This has a bit of a story to it. This is not my deck, so I can talk about it. But there was a lot of cards discovered here in Toronto in the basement that were buried, basically. And these decks came out. The only thing that ever had any deck that ever had a Coke Clark name on it. Coke Clark basically was a printing company that printed a lot of stuff. And this deck came out just like this. There was no box. This is a wrapper. And about 5 or 6 of them came out. I don't think there were any more than that. And of course, they were all mint sealed because they'd never been sold or anything. So that's the story on this deck. And I'm with Larry. It's a fantastic joker, actually.
Where did they dig these up in Toronto?
It's-
Just for personal reasons, I'd like to know.
You can't bring them up, I guess, but it is an amazing joker. Oh, and there's 2 aces. Did you say that?
No,
Plain ace, and there's this ace. So I think it was printed with the plain ace. We have no idea who, I guess Copart did print it. There's also this ace, but there's also just a plain ace. I think basically it came with the plain ace, and then this was separate. I know about this deck. I know I'm right on this deck. And it's, as I say, I always really loved it because I think the joker's amazing. But I love jokers.
It's very cool. Okay, lot number 26.
here we have American Indian Souvenir by P. Lazarus. It's Hockman S3A. It's 52 plus joker in near mint condition. OB1 minus box. Sparkling gold edges. This is more difficult to find than Hockman S3. It's a variation on this deck. It would have had slightly different pictures, if I recall, than S3. The King of Spades features Sitting Bull. Nice old souvenir deck.
It's a beautiful deck.
Yeah, the Lakota Holy Man, Sitting Bull.
Wonderful portraits in both of them, in both the editions.
This, yeah, it's a beautiful deck, beautiful souvenir deck. And it seems that their souvenir decks are starting to make a comeback. I've been hearing some grumblings in the modern world about that.
Oh, they should
Really?
be making a comeback. They're so stunning, really.
And there's only 70 some odd to collect of the wide variety. Around 80 to collect of the
They
wide
do
variety.
stop. They don't go on forever.
And this is Sitting Bull. Larry, you've been known to bull sit before, right?
Uh-huh. Thanks.
The jokes are for me, Larry. The jokes are for me.
No problem.
Okay, lot number 27.
Here we have some pinup singles. We have 14 pinup singles from 1960 by Brown and Bigelow. We have 9 by Elvgren and 5 by Dwayne Byers,
Yeah.
featuring the pleasantly plump Hilda. These were decks were usually issued to advertise local businesses. I've certainly heard of Gil Elvgren. I've never heard of Dwayne Byers.
Yes, Harry wrote an article about him.
Yeah.
Harry
CTV.
knows about these.
Now,
He can
okay,
talk
now-
about them.
The Elfgren used a variety of different models. Dwayne Byers, there is no person. This is a fictional being. There's no person that did the posing. He just created that out of his mind. So,
So maybe he was out of his mind.
yeah, but from what I understand, he used a couple of models, but there was no Hilda, no actual Hilda. These other the ones from Elfgren, those are actual models. Those were actual people.
Very interesting. I just learned something.
I love Elgren's decks. They're beautiful. Okay.
Okay, lot number 28.
Duplicate list from 1894. It's Hockman L77A by the American Playing Card Company. It's 52 in near mint condition, OB1 minus. It says over here, it's a rear deck.
It
What does L stand for again, Judy?
didn't come with a joker, this deck. We're convinced it didn't come with a joker because it's a whist deck.
And that box, it's a beautiful box. We don't see those boxes that often.
You rarely see this deck. And our American card collector who collects these is Steve, and he does not have this deck. It's pretty rare, I believe.
Well, then I know where he'll be on the day of the auction.
Mhm.
Okay, let's get to the lot number, we're on 29.
Lot number 29, American Beauty number 444 from 1897. It's Hockman L27 by the North American Card Company. It's 52 plus joker, VG to excellent condition, OB3 minus, so it means a part of the box is there. The 5 of hearts and the ace of clubs have a corner crease. And anything with L is,
Here's another thing on this deck. This deck is one of the decks that has very beautiful court cards. I mean, they're standard cards. Larry, do you remember them? They're very vivid. They're not like normal court cards, but they are, you know, the same idea. But there's a few of the companies, and this is one of them, that produce sort of their own designs. Has anybody got this deck? Oh, can you, I'm so surprised that we're not seeing a court here, because I did an article at some point on these unique courts. The Chicago company did them. This company did them. There were a few companies that made these wonderful court cards. So there should be one showing here. It's too bad. Can you put
Well,
one?
if we don't have it here, remember, you will be able to see all of these decks at the auction when you're at the convention. So if you'd like to see the courts, please ask to see the
Okay.
courts.
Thanks, Larry. At least Lee, this is not for me, but I think that we should see at least a court on this, Larry, when we're showing this deck.
Okay, and there's another North American card company deck we have later on down in the
Yeah,
lots. We'll talk
there's
about that again.
several, and they do have
Yeah.
good special court cards.
Okay, lot number 30.
Lot number 30 is DMC Playing Cards from 2018. It's 52 plus 2 jokers. There's 3 decks. It's as issued, OB1 by USPC. This nice lot includes Elite V4, Elite V5, and Gold Private Reserve, specifically designed for magicians. It says it incorporates Juan Tamari's legendary mnemonica system.
Yes.
The Private Reserve deck was limited to 1,000 decks and is sold out. Nice modern deck. I don't have no idea what it looks like. And I'm not
Yeah,
sure what they mean
You can
by
Google it.
designed for
They've got
magicians.
pictures of it all over the internet. And do you know, Larry, do you know who DMC is?
No, I do not.
He's a magician from England. DMC stands for Drummond, Money, Clout. That's his name. And again, Google him. He's an incredibly interesting character. And you can see his latest magic special on Netflix. He's no joke. So if you're into magic and collecting playing cards and magic playing cards, these are for you. And again, you said there were under 1,000 of these made, right?
Actually, the ad in the magazine is an error because it says 1,000, but actually it's 500. And this copy that we have is number 496.
Oh, even better.
So there's 500, and it's called Private Signature. Private Signature.
You don't want to see his public signature. Okay, let's get to lot number 31.
Next, we have Michelin tire advertising deck from around 1935. 52 plus joker, near mint condition, OB2 plus by USPC. Nice early ad deck with the Michelin Man.
How do you say
Amazing,
his
it's his
name?
original
What's his
condition.
name?
What?
The Michelin Man has an actual name. Judy, can you tell us the
There,
name?
it's in the description, isn't it, Larry? The name of the guy?
Oh, here it is. Bibendum.
Say it again.
Bibendum.
Say it slower.
Bibendum.
Cool.
I'm reading it. I've never
I
seen
always
it
knew him as the
before.
Michelin Man, who inspired the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Or the
I've just dated
Joker, a
myself.
Doughboy Man?
Or was it the other way around?
No, I think Michelin came first.
Okay, this is a fun advertising deck for tires. And are the courts the same? Like their normal court cards?
Yeah, well, there's a picture. They're obviously standard. court
Yeah.
cards. Probably USPC.
Neat. Okay, lot number 32.
KC Card Company catalogs from 1940 to 1961. There's 3 catalogs. The company was famous for selling marked cards and gaffed items.
Really?
It says over here that 1961 catalog was the last one printed before the FBI raided their address. Most were never even mailed.
I would like to take the 5th.
It's fascinating if you read through this and the amount of work that went into producing marked cards and shaved dice and things like that. They also sold standard stuff, bingo cards and things like that. But it's incredible how exacting they were and how they could produce, for example, dice that were shaved to like tiny fractions of an inch of what a standard die would be. And that's how they manipulated what numbers came up more often. uh, really a cool glimpse into the cheating industry from that era, which I guess glad to say is over on the professional level, not doing it on this level anymore. But it's absolutely fascinating to look at.
I take it this company's not in business anymore.
I don't think there's any reference. I looked them up on the internet. I didn't see any.
I take the fifth.
But
No, they're out of business. They've been out of business since the FBI raided them. But you're right, Dave. There's an incredibly beautiful backstory and legend to this company and what they supplied over the years and who they supplied over the years. It's what they make movies about, truly. So if you're into gambling and gaming and collecting that kind of stuff, then these catalogs are for you. Okay, number 33.
Owen Jones design from, it says 1875 or thereabouts. It's a British deck by Delarue, 52 plus Joker in excellent plus condition. There's no box. Look, and beautiful back design. Nice standard deck with square corners.
No
Judy,
indices.
can you tell
And
us a
no
bit about it?
indices. There's no indices in that. And these decks, I don't think, Larry, I have never seen any of these old pasteboard type decks with boxes. They must have come in wrappers. I've never seen a box, and we've had a lot of these over the years. So I think it would have had a wrapper at some point, probably. But it's a no indices deck also. There's no pip card. There's no little indices in the corners. At least I can't see any.
There's no indices here.
No. Okay. Oh,
Neat. And it's a deck. It's not singles, right? This is a full deck.
no, it's a deck. Yeah.
Okay. Great. Lot number 34.
Lot number 34 is Nestor from 1910 by the popular playing card company, Hockman NY77. It was one of the lower price brands for NYCC. It's 52 plus Joker plus an ad card, in excellent to near mint condition with OB2 box.
And what's
says
the
over here,
company
it's-
that the ad card says, Harry?
It says play me to win, Cigars United.
Oh, United Cigars, that's right. Yeah. I guess an advertising deck for them in a way.
Yeah.
Must be.
Neat. Okay, lot number 35.
Lot number 35 is the Tug O War Steamboat deck by the independent card company from 1926. It's Hockman MSW 88, 48 plus Joker in near mint condition, OB3 minus for the box. It's a pinochle deck. So that would be 9s through aces twice. Oddly enough, I have some pinochle decks and the card collectors don't seem to like them, even though you get double the court cards. And I've played a lot of pinochle in my time.
Why does it have a Joker?
It just
That's
must,
a good question.
because that's the same, that's the one that comes in the tin box, not that deck, but that's their familiar one that we all know. And they had that Joker in it, so that must be why there's a Joker in this one as well. I don't think you use any Joker in pinochle, do you?
No.
There's no Joker in pinochle.
I haven't played pinochle for 1,001 years. Back to playing bridge though.
This deck is definitely for Steamboat collectors. You don't get this deck coming up for auction so
I've
often.
never
so-
ever seen this deck.
Yeah.
As a
So if you're,
steamboat
because
deck.
there's
I
been
know
an
it's an
uptick in
auction, so-
Steamboat collecting. And
Really?
I don't know why, because there was a great article in Card Culture a few months ago. But yeah, if you're into Steamboats, then you should definitely put a bid on this one. Okay, let's get to the next one. Lot number 36, Larry.
Tip Top, we're on 1880, Hockman PU2, another Perfection playing card company deck. It's 52 plus Joker in mint condition, OB3 minus. So terrible box, great condition for the cards.
Gold edges.
Early Perfection deck, with lovely gold edges, beautiful blue backs. And you usually don't see these cards in this condition.
Yeah, this is a fun back, fun company, fun Joker. Definitely a fun box. But the box, it always was a little thinner than a normal tuck, right?
I don't know.
What did you say, Lee?
So Judy, the box was always a little thinner than a normal tuck box, yes?
Yes, I don't think this box is in great shape, but it's a gold box. I mean, this is my deck, as I can tell you, because I can describe this deck. It is just in incredible condition, but I think the box, does it say the box is a bit battered? I can't remember, Larry, is it?
Yes, it says the box is in bad condition.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm looking at
It's
the
just-
box. It's not in good shape.
Yeah, no, I don't think it is. I could rummage through my drawers and find it, but it's just, it is the right box and it is gold, like the gold edges, which is kind of interesting because USPC used to do that too with the bicycle decks that were gold. There was always gold on the picture on the box. Anyway,
Beautiful, beautiful deck. Okay, lot number 37, Larry.
Boys Town from the 1930s by Brandon Bigelow, 52 plus Joker plus an extra card twice. It's near mint and OB1 minus for the box. Showing Father Flanagan's boys' home in Boys Town, Nebraska. Each card is a different photo, so it's sort of like a souvenir deck.
what was Boys Town? Does
But
anybody,
it still exists. It was a home for orphan boys.
oh, a home for orphan boys?
Now
Yeah.
they take in girls too.
And
But-
that box is one of those fuzzy boxes like from the 50s, isn't it? One of
Yeah.
those fuzzy
Yeah,
boxes.
it is. It's a kind of a flocked material on it.
Congress used to come in
You
those,
used
yeah.
to see this deck, but I haven't seen a deck like this deck for years and years. Kind of an interesting deck. I hope Boys Town have one.
All right, let's move on to lot number 38.
Movie souvenir from 1916 by Hockman SE7 by MJ Moriarty. It's 52 plus Joker plus an extra card in excellent condition. OB3 for the box. Each card has a photo of a different film star of the era, and Charlie Chaplin is the Joker. And there's more than one edition of this deck, but they're all very pretty. And the back looks like Ben-Hur, the original Ben-Hur.
Yeah, the silent version of Ben-Hur.
Quite a common deck, actually. Although maybe if you collect different versions, it's not so common.
It's a neat, neat deck. All right, lot number 39.
It says Charles Pry Homage by Charles Pry from 1967. 32 plus 3 Jokers plus an extra card in excellent condition. There's no box. It's number 19 of a limited edition of 300, designed by a Belgian painter. The card faces are glued to vinyl. The 3 Jokers are different, and the extra card is the little card pictured. It says there's some stickiness around the edges. I'm not sure what that means. It's certainly a different deck.
We auctioned
Did
a
he-
Pride deck last auction, didn't we?
Did he do anything else but design decks, this man? Does anybody know anything about it?
Yes, we had one of his decks in either the April, I think it was the April auction. This
Well,
last year.
no, I know he does decks, but does he do anything? Did he do anything else? Or is he an artist or?
He was a painter.
Michael Ganway used to collect his stuff. He loved his stuff. So he had quite a lot of these decks.
Well, those who collect these, apparently you can't pry them from their hands. Thank you. I'll
Boo.
be here all week. Okay, let's move on to lot number 40, Larry.
Lot number 40 is Pepper Playing Cards from 1925 by the E.W. McCarroll Company. It's Hockman N13, 52 plus Joker, excellent condition, OB2. It says over here, each card has 2 sets of indices.
Yeah, why is that?
And
Never,
I guess they
never
tried
do.
making something special here and it didn't work. Because why
I
the
have
King of
no
Hearts would be the
idea-
7 of
I have
Spades?
no
Yeah,
idea what this deck was invented for. With 2 different indices, I don't know why it would be like that.
Oh, it's missing the instruction booklet, which might have explained how to use it.
Mhm.
Maybe, but it doesn't even tell you how to play the game.
Mhm.
Interesting deck. Interesting deck. And the back is pretty cool. Okay, let's move on to lot number 41, Larry.
Congress 606 Holland from around 1905, Hockman US 6E, 52 plus Joker in excellent condition, OB1 box. Wide name gold edge deck with a special name Joker. The Jack of Hearts and the 10 of Hearts have light edge ding. the gold edges have some wear. So with some edges, some wear that probably makes the grade more likely excellent minus than excellent, but I'd have to look at the deck to give you a better grading of it. Nice wide Congress deck from 1905.
Yeah, there's been an uptick in Congress collecting as well, as we know. We have younger members looking into buying Congress decks. So hopefully a younger member might buy this one. Whoever does, good luck. All right, lot number 42.
Lot number 42 is Military Fortune Tellers from 1918, World War I deck by H.V. Loring. It's Hockman W27. It's 56 cards. It's as issued, OB1 with the tax stamps. Wide name deck with gold edges, and I'm sorry, reading the wrong deck. It's honored World War I. The kings are soldiers, the queens are nurses, and the jacks are sailors. Each suit includes one in addition to the aces. The blue suits are doves and bells. The red suits are hearts and stars. And it was never opened, but I've seen this deck before, so that's how we got pictures of it.
Yeah, I ran off copies of my own deck so that we could show what the inside looks, but
I don't think this deck was rarely opened. I think someone must have found some somewhere, because they sort of did come out and they were always like this, double tax stamped. Does it have a date on that tax stamp, Harry?
I did not see the box. I only got the picture of the box.
Yeah, I love this deck. I think it's adorable, but I don't even know if it's at the time. Was it published then, do you think? I think it's a very cool little deck. I've always loved it, and it usually comes just exactly like this with two tax stamps unopened.
How come there's two tax stamps?
I don't know. I can't see what those tax stamps are.
They appear to be the same stamp.
Do you know
Why?
whether they're not the on-hand stamp, right? But they don't have a date, I guess.
No, it's upside down. I can't tell.
Yeah. Anyway, I think it's a really cool deck myself. I love the female.
Maybe they like paying double taxes.
Okay. Lot number 43.
Lot number 43 is one of the most beautiful decks ever made. It's the Bartlett Transformation deck from 1833.
Wow.
It's by Caleb Bartlett. It's Hockman T1. It's in 52, complete. Very good. Who knows if it ever came with a box. There are 4 versions of this deck from 4 different countries. This is the American version, which is considered the most garish of the 4. It's much more brightly colored than the other 3, but it's a beautiful, beautiful transformation deck. And some of the transformation pick are truly beautiful works of art. This is, in some ways, 52 real works of art. It's a beautiful old deck from 1833.
1833. Only here at a 52 plus Joker auction can you see cards like this.
This is
One thing
one of my
about
favorite
it-
decks.
One thing about this deck is that the backs, I mean, I've discussed all this with Steve. The backs on this deck, that plain green back, they're very odd. A lot of them are very discolored they're white. The discoloration is white, but it's like mottled, and some of them aren't so mottled. Like it's a really weird backs on them. It's the used deck. And you know, maybe it's just been looked at all these thousands of years, but it is a used deck, and the backs are rustic. And just to let people know that the backs are, but it is certainly a treasure for anybody who likes transformation deck.
1833.
I
Very
did
impressive.
before countries that had that deck, Larry. I knew there was a British one and an American one, so you just enlightened me on that one.
Yeah, there's 4 of them. I'd have to look up what the 4 countries are. And in fact, I probably will before the convention starts.
Good boy.
Very good. Very good. Okay, lot number 44.
44 is Triton, Hockman NY51A by NYCC. It's 52 plus Joker in mint condition, OB3 for the box. It's one of NYCC's most expensive brands with double enameled cards. The box is missing the top flap, but it's a beautiful, beautiful old standard deck.
Yeah,
By
a must
NYCC.
for any antique
What's
collector.
the notice card say, Harry? What's that note?
Notice card
Is it
Sorted.
packaged?
sorted by number 3117.
So that deck is still inside it. I guess that deck was never used.
Yeah, that was just an inspector slip
Yeah.
saying that they produce
if they-
good products.
But if they're in the deck, it's
I'll
probably
be right back.
used or even taken apart.
Yeah, I think I would have thrown that little bit out if I had it. So the fact
We're
that
glad they didn't.
Well, certainly in the old days you would have. If you bought the deck to play with, it would have been in the garbage. That's what ephemera is, Harry.
I know.
Little things like that would have been thrown away immediately.
And to just reaffirm, that little slip that would have normally been thrown away is actually in the auction, and you will get that with this deck if you are the winner.
Going back to lot number 43, the Beatrice deck, the 4 countries are England, Austria, France, and the US.
Nice.
Right, so this would be
The American version, you said.
the American version. All the
'Cause
versions are beautiful. Lot number 45 is Ocean to Ocean souvenir deck. It's Hockman SCA 13, another Canadian deck, but this was made in England by Goodall. It's 52 plus Joker plus an extra card in mint condition, OB1. Nice old souvenir deck, 115-year-old souvenir deck. Sparkling gold edges.
Beautiful back.
And if you get this deck and you get your deck, this deck at the Niagara Falls Convention, and they have a picture of Niagara Falls. You're
Oh,
also-
yeah. I could see it.
Now, is that the American side or the Canadian side?
That's Canadian side.
Well, let's hope it's the Canadian.
That's
one.
Canadian Falls, Niagara.
Okay.
We may have to remain at the convention on that side. We may have to wave at
That's
you on the border at this point.
We might have to do
anyway.
a cross-border
Yeah,
convention.
that-
You guys are gonna have to speak really loud at the lecture.
We and I will be there waving at you all.
Okay, let's move on to lot number 46.
Next, we have North American Steamboats from 1897.
There we are with one of this kind of different, see how different the courts are? Can you see how different the Queen of Diamonds is? I love these differences when they're quite distinctly different. So there's an example of those. I don't know if it's exactly the same as the other one, because there are a few companies that did these unique court cards.
Okay, so this is 52 in good condition, no box. It's Hockman L26, North American Card Company from 1897. It's rare. It has unusual courts. It's missing the Joker. Also, as I always point out, good condition means it's not a playable deck. We consider VG to be the minimum standard for a playable deck.
This must be pretty ratty.
Well, you can see on the edges of the Queen of Diamonds and the Jack of Hearts that they're kind of shredded on the edges.
It says over here, many cards have creases and two courts have chigger bites.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an old word that Neil Prescott used to use, that jiggerbite word,
Neil Prescott was the auctioneer before me.
way before. And unfortunately, he passed on. Such a nice man.
All right, for those that are steamboat collectors, this is one that you want to put a bid on. All right, lot number 47.
Does it say steamboat?
Yeah, I think there are steamboats.
Yes.
Lot number 47 is playing card postcards. There's 34 of them from around 1900 to 1980. They range from VG to excellent condition. Terrific collection of old postcards, many with poker gambling on them. Some cards have been mailed with stamps and postmarks. 18 are unused and 25 are in color.
Super cool.
Very
If you
nice.
read Card Culture, you'll know that we have a playing card postcard article every month that shows how beautiful and highly collectible these are. Dave, you have some in front of you, right?
I do. In fact, there are a lot of them are obviously from the same artist or illustrator. There also are some that are reproductions of famous paintings that you've seen, but they're very funny. It's a great little collection, especially if you're new to postcard collecting. It would be a really nice addition.
Great. Thank you. All right, lot number 48.
Next, we have Shakespeare playing cards from around 1900 by Goodall. So it's an English deck. 52, near mint, no box. I'm not sure if this deck came with the Joker. A beautiful deck. Julius Caesar's on the ace and Shakespeare characters around the courts. It has gold edges. It says gold edges have light wear, which would probably make this deck more excellent than near mint. Again, I'd have to look at the deck to tell you. This is green floral backs, also highlighted with gold. Nice old deck from Goodall.
I think Goodall copied, there was there was at least one earlier production of this by some funny companies whose name I can't remember. And this was a copy, like an early copy, but it was a copy of that deck. I can't remember who did it. It began with B, but honestly, I've forgotten.
Goodall was known to do that a little bit, weren't they?
I think a lot of companies infringed on each other.
Them certainly. We had talked about this the other day. They got into a legal battle with the United States Playing Card Company here in Toronto, Canada.
Oh, yeah.
And it played out in the Supreme Courts, and they lost. And they went out of business not too long after, about a decade after. But that's a fantastic story for another time. All right, let's move on to lot number 49.
Lot number 49 is Outing Elk Deer Cards from 1895 by Andrew Doherty. It's Hockman 8030, 52 plus Joker in near mint condition, OB2 box. Nice old standard deck. Number one, it says number 51 playing cards on the slipcase.
That's-
Nice different Joker there. Nice outing, and I don't know if this is elk or deer.
Very interesting box, because those boxes were, a lot of United States Playing Card Company early decks were in those boxes. So it's interesting that Andrew Doherty's deck, Andrew Doherty's is in that box, because it seems sort of unusual that they would have that box as Andrew Doherty, because it would be before they merged. So kind of funny. It's just an observation.
Yeah, that's an excellent observation.
Yeah, I've always loved those boxes, actually.
Did you ever own the entire Outing series?
Did I ever own what?
The entire Outing series.
No, no.
It's a pretty tough series to collect,
Nice.
right?
Joseph collects these, or has been very interested in the outing decks with their wonderful animal backs. This is a deer, isn't it? Is this a deer?
This is a deer.
Yeah, I can hardly see it. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, well, let's move on to lot number 50.
Okay, next we have the Beatrice Transformation. However, this time it's in 12 of the original 13 sheets from a magazine. So these are the cards that became the other Beatrice deck, but this is the English version. And I've seen the 13 sheets sold for well over $1,000. So this is beautiful English version. And then some type people took these cards and they cut them out and they mounted them on cardboard to make a deck of cards. So
These are
it
still in
appeared in
sheet
groups
form.
of 4 in a magazine called Repository of Arts. And it says over here 7 sheets have edge stains. And it says over here, see Bartlett page 7 in the field book. So it's field number 22, which is the first of the Beatrice, of the 4 Beatrice decks. But this is uncut on 12 sheets, so it's 12 out of 13 sheets from the original series.
From 1819,
1818.
1818. Wow. Again, you don't see stuff like this most anywhere, but you do see stuff like this at the 52 plus Joker auctions. All right, let's keep it going. How about lot number 51, Larry?
We have a Samuel Hart deck from 1871. One-way courts, square corners. It's Hockman NY35, NYCC. It's 52. It's VG plus condition, OB2 minus. And I don't believe this deck came with the Joker. So this should be complete. And it's a nice old deck, nice old standard deck.
Actually, it's a combined deck. If you can look closely, the King of Hearts and the back next to it have curved corners. The rest of the cards have straight corners.
That's an
Apparently they
important
replaced
thing.
some cards.
Yeah, that's a very important thing to say, because there's nothing worse than buying a deck and finding that it's got a replaced card in it.
It's been combined, or it's
Yeah.
been replaced. So
Yeah, well, you can see the difference in the back too, Harry.
very slightly, yeah.
Thanks for that observation.
Mhm.
Excellent. Eagle Eyes.
Eagle Eyes is known as.
All right, lot number 52.
We have Apollo Baseball from 1900, Hockman SE18 by National Card Company, 52 plus Joker in excellent condition, OB2. This has number 52 playing cards on it. It says the gold edges are worn, so this is probably excellent minus for the condition. A nice old Apollo deck.
I always love those brownies jokers.
There we are with that same sort of box again. Very interesting. Harry, does that one say, what does it say underneath the playing cards? What's the wording there?
Which,
Gold edges.
Oh, they just,
yeah, it's just gold edges. Yeah.
okay.
It's a nice deck. All
Gold
right, let's move
edges are
along to
worth
lot number.
mentioning.
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Judy. What were you saying? Okay, then we'll move along. Let's see here. Lot number 53, Larry.
Okay, now we have a complete worshipful deck from 1902 by Goodall from England, 52 plus Joker as issued with the OB1 box. Rare to get a worshipful deck from 1902 complete with the box. It says on the whisked in a nutshell. So remember, each deck each year was different. It's mint in the wrapper,
Yeah,
which has
forever
the wrapper's been
this-
opened.
Or ever to the 6th, or whichever.
Nice old worshipful deck from 1902.
It's the Carnation deck, right? For-
Right. Coronation deck.
Yeah, for
It's-
King Edward the, what was it,
7th.
7th? The old guy, Victoria's son? The bad egg?
Well,
Never met
considering Victoria died at 112,
Yeah,
he
and
couldn't have
this
been
is-
too young.
I think he was about 80 and he was not a very good man. I don't think he was in very long. 7 years maybe. Anyway, there you go.
Interesting deck. Okay, let's move along.
Lot 54 is Kalamazoo Steamboats from 1910. It's by the Kalamazoo Playing Card Company. It's Hockman RU13, 52 plus Joker, VG condition. It says WB2. I'm not sure what WB means.
What are those two pictures?
Wrong box.
They both the box?
Wrong box. It's a
Wrong box.
nice Steamboat 9999 box, but it's not the right box for this deck.
Oh. Why are there two showing?
The front and the back.
Oh, okay.
Can
Interesting.
anyone
You know,
explain the significance of the 9999 versus 999?
yeah,
What
it's a
is-
marketing.
who
There was
made
a
that? Who
0,
made that?
and there was a 9, then a
Who
99.
made that steamboat deck with that box? What's the company?
Universal Playing Card Company,
Okay.
which is clearly not.
It's a nice box.
Joker.
So basically, we've got a box for one company and a deck from another company.
I like the box.
Yeah. I mean, Steamboat collectors, you don't see that box often.
They might just want the box.
Yeah. And it's a great story, like 9999. You know, it's Russell Morgan did 999, and this company was like, you know what, we're going to do one more 9 to be more impressive. All right, let's keep it going.
Lot number 55 is La Florentine by Philibert. It's from 1956. It's a French deck, 52 plus 2 Jokers plus 2 extra cards. It's in mint condition. There's no box. It would have come in a plastic case. A lot of times it would have come in a plastic double case. It's lot number, it's number 3362 out of 12,000. So it's a beautiful deck, but as you can imagine, there aren't 12,000 playing card collectors in the world. So it's a fairly common deck, but it's very pretty.
There were different
12,000.
versions.
Philibert did a
weren't there?
series of decks. This is one of the 5 or 6 of them. They did Casanova. They did St. Hubert's Bridge.
This was the most common one, though. This is
It's
the
a
one.
very,
Yes.
it's a common deck, but it's very pretty.
I think they just kept publishing it, didn't they? This one?
No, I think it was a single run of 12,000, which is a lot.
Okay.
All right, let's keep it going.
Next, we have lot number 56, Plumages from 2005. It's a Belgian deck, 52 plus 2 jokers, mint-sealed, OB1 minus condition, designed by art student Julia Podney for the club's deck design contest held at the 2005 convention.
Oh, yes.
And then Robert Vink, there was a number of art students that Philip Bullhagen brought to the convention who designed some wonderful decks. I own one of them, and they were very creative. And Robert Van Gool, a club member who passed away, decided to take this deck and turn it into an actual produced deck of cards. It's a very pretty deck. If I recall, this is the deck that got the highest bid of any of the decks at the auction that year for the Milwaukee art students.
Yes, I thought this was familiar.
We bought one of these as well. I think I didn't remember this deck though, Larry. Do you remember this deck at that convention?
I don't. I remember there's one that was more like clowns that I thought Robert had bought.
I just don't remember this deck at all. It's very pretty.
The
I
deck
hope
I won was
soon.
about jazz.
What
hope
was
soon
about
we'll get an
jazz?
article.
I remember that deck.
I hope we get an article about all those decks that were made. You know, there was a
I think
good
there were
run of
6.
those,
Were there 6, I think.
something like that.
It was
I'm going to get someone to write an article about it for card culture. I might
It's
hit one
very
of you up.
expensive and it came out of our pocket, very expensive to buy one of those decks. But everybody dig deeply because the money did go to the artists. So
Yeah,
They were
we've
at
been
the
treating
banquet for
artists
us.
kindly since the beginning, it seems. All right, let's move on to lot number 57.
And all the decks were one-of-a-kind decks, except for the one that Robert Van Gool turned into a produced deck.
it had
Okay, lot number
goldfish.
57 is USPC Cardamundi Celebration from 2020. 52 plus Joker times 2 of them. It has issued OB1. Double deck was given to attendees at the merger in New York City in January 2020. It comes in the original presentation box. Here's your opportunity to own a limited souvenir of playing card history. I was at that celebration at the bar on the west side. It was a very
Yes, you
nice
were.
party. There was magicians there, including a couple of magicians who had shown up on Penn and Teller Fool Us. It was a wonderful time in a small bar, so it was actually very crowded.
It was a lovely party. And like it was great, actually. All of Cardamundi was there and USPCC was there and the beer was free. It was great. And these cards, they gave away these cards in a beautiful commemorative box. And you were only allowed 1 per person. And they had like 3 bouncers at the door, making sure you wouldn't leave with more than 1. And so these go for big bucks. We sold one of these in October's auction, if I'm correct. And that went for big bucks.
I guess I should have taken one. I didn't.
Yeah, you should have. You should have taken 2. I would
Who
have told
knew,
the bouncer to
Larry?
look the other
Who
way.
knew?
I'm sorry, Judy.
Who knew?
Yeah. Well, this is going to go for a lot. And especially because the person who's put it up has put a very low minimum because they want to see some aggressive bidding. So
No.
keep your eye on this one.
They don't get too personal on this one.
It's not mine. I don't have
I
any
know it
decks.
isn't.
There's no skin in the game for me. Okay. Lot number 58.
Lot number 58 is Hjortzberg Art Deco deck from 1924. It's by Granberg's 52 plus Joker in excellent condition with OB3 minus box. So it's basically not much of a box. It's a beautiful Art Deco deck. The box is missing the top flap. As you can see, the cards, very pretty Art Deco deck. It was made in Sweden. And Granberg's, I believe, is a Swedish department store. I forget.
They're beautiful cards. Look at those
So
cords.
which was the one that was American that came out? It was very similar. It came out afterwards. High Crest. The High Crest deck. with similar designs that came after this one.
I've never seen this deck. It's beautiful though.
I love the high crest deck. But this is a beautiful deck. Okay,
All right, let's move along. Lot number 59.
Lot number 59 is Atkins Saws, an advertising deck for a 1900. It's Hockman AB8. It's by USPC, 52 plus Joker, near mint condition, OB2 plus box. Company contracted for at least 2 different decks to advertise saws and cutting tools. Since the Joker and back designs are different on each deck. The company is headquartered in Indianapolis. And it's a nice old advertising deck.
Larry.
I have the red version of this deck.
Okay, then Harry, I'll ask you.
Yeah.
I'll ask you. Is this deck worth all the buzz, or is it just a bunch of hack? Sorry, I couldn't. It's the jokes are for me, Harry.
hey,
Some questions don't deserve an answer, but there's a red version. This is blue. Yeah, I
there's
have a
another
red
one with a guy sawing
Mhm.
a log with the Atkins saw.
Very nice. Okay, let's move along. Lot number 60.
Lot number 60 is Piroxloid Celluloid deck from 1928. It's Hockman 04A. So celluloid cards had a short run and they're not easy to find. I have an old celluloid deck. They tended to crack.
This one's in great shape, isn't it? Which is
Yeah,
Yeah,
really
this is mint
unusual.
shape.
It's very unusual to find this deck mint. Larry's right. They don't not necessarily crack. They rub. The design rubs off them. It's very difficult. I've very rarely seen it.
As new inventions go, this one didn't work.
It worked. It just wasn't popular.
Well, they were supposed to last forever, but they didn't.
They certainly didn't. And I thought they were not supposed to burn, but you occasionally see a burn in them because somebody's tried to burn them to see if they don't burn.
Well, they might not burn, but they certainly melt.
Yeah, they do everything. I've seen them so rubbed that you can hardly see the pictures anymore. So mint,
Mint chem cards.
is yours mint? Yours isn't mint, Larry. It's really hard to find those things mint.
Mine is not mint.
No. Okay.
All right, let's move along.
This little
61.
deck.
Next up, we have Kings, Knights, and Dragons by Elaine Lewis from 2005. The 52
these are
plus
great.
Joker plus the title card in mint condition, OB1 minus. Her decks are almost always in mint condition because no one ever played with them. So this is lot number 36 out of 50. Elaine Lewis decks sell for a lot of money. She makes
Jesus.
beautiful decks.
She's very clever.
She's very clever and she's also very collectible.
Mhm.
Yeah, she's the master of uber limited hand-drawn amazing playing cards. Only a lucky few get to
Some
own that
printed,
word.
but she colors them. I think she certainly used to color the early ones by hand. How many are in this? How many are there
It says 36 out of 50.
out of 50? I
Yeah,
think
but I'm looking at the cards. It says number 2,
Oh,
not 36.
the number 2.
only tell you what I'm reading.
I've
Yeah,
got
I'm-
the deck in front of me, and it appears that all of them are here. So it's a 52 card plus a Joker and a title card.
Does the title card say number 2, David?
It says, well, it's numbered as number 36.
Huh.
It's
Okay,
produced
number 36 out of 50.
All right.
out of 50. They appear to be hand cut,
Yeah, her cards are.
but yeah, it's very cool.
She does phenomenal work. All right, let's keep it going. We've got 2 more lots to go.
Next up, we have Petite number 21 from 1909 by USPC. It's Hockman US 27. It's 52 plus Joker in mint condition, OB1. So it says Bicycle Junior. So these are a little bit smaller cards, 3 1/4 by 2.5 inches. It's got
Actually, I know
USB-C
this-
steel on it.
It's a little bit smaller than Bicycle Junior. It's a tiny bit smaller. And they are around and they're always in this box, this advertising company. And Steve and I were discussing this deck the other day because this is a really super little deck. It really is. And it never seems to realize what I think it should be worth. There are not a million of them around. This one is mint sealed, which I think is pretty amazing. I think they're about 1921, are they? Is there a date on this?
1909.
1909.
1909. Anyway, oh, but look at the stamp. But it could be later production. It could have been later mailed or something. But anyway, I think it's a great little deck. And if you love USBC, this is the only one I believe that was made in this particular size. I may be totally wrong about this, but I think it's very slightly smaller than the.
People can look up your article on miniatures in the CTD.
It's not a miniature. It's just a small deck.
Just small.
It's a petite deck, actually. Anyway, I think it's kind of a special deck. It's not mine.
Excellent. Whoever wins that is going to be very happy. All right, let's go to our last lot. And when we say we've saved the most impressive for last, you better believe it.
So this deck here is the Dauphine pattern. It's from the 1700s. It's a French pattern. It's 52 in excellent condition. There's no box. It wouldn't have come with a box, and it would not certainly have come with a joker. So it's complete. It's very rare. It says, according to Sylvia Mann, a complete deck has never been seen. Now here's the mystery on the question mark. This deck has been reproduced. The original deck would have been hand cut and would not have even edges. And so this deck does not appear to be cut evenly. The repros would be cut evenly. So we think it's old, but we can't guarantee that it's old. And we know it's been reproduced. It might have been reproduced a number of times over the years. So it could be from the 1700s. It could be from later, but it's at a low minimum. So it's a nice, very old, standard French Dauphine pattern deck.
Any idea if it was reproduced, Larry, when it was reproduced?
It could have been reproduced a number of times. It could have been reproduced in the 1700s, the 1800s, and the 1900s.
Really? I know this is really a mystery deck, but
Kind of like, I have a French deck, a beautiful French deck, where they never destroyed the plates. So it was reproduced for 50 or 60 years.
okay.
Are the backs blank?
Even if it was reproduced in 60
It
years,
must be.
the old deck, if the last reproduction was in 60 years later,
Now, this deck was reproduced in the 1900s also.
Yeah, it says the backs are plain.
they always were.
So someone would have to look carefully at the deck and at the printing method. And this is where you need a jeweler's loop and stuff like that to see how it's actually printed.
So if someone's
The
interested in
repros
this
would be
deck
printed differently.
and they're going to be in Niagara, they should bring their jeweler's loop, and we'd be very happy to let them look at it and see if they can figure that out.
I think you'd need to take it to an artisan or an art historian, really, to be able to determine the paper. And I know they talked to Jean Durcan. Jean Durcan knows a lot about this kind of stuff. But he can make can't come to a conclusion on this deck.
Okay, that concludes the 2021 October auction glow up. Again, thank you all for sharing your knowledge and passion about playing cards. I, for one, certainly learned a few things today. Hopefully those watching can say the same. Let's get a last word from our auction team. What kind of final advice do you offer those who are bidding on decks either in this auction or in future auctions? Larry?
Bid on what you like. I don't have any brilliant words to say.
That's great. That's great.
I used to
Harry.
collect a lot of different things. And as I've been collecting for 40 years, I've narrowed what I like to collect. But I understand why other people collect much different things than I collect.
I think condition has become more important than maybe when we all started out. I think, if it's a very rare deck, okay, but if it's a fairly common deck, you should wait for the best because you'll get it.
That's great advice. Harry?
Well, all I can say is know what you're bidding on. Some of these, I'm not sure, like that last one, you don't even know what it is for sure. It looks good, but it might not be. I don't know how much I would bid on a deck like that.
Okay.
Dave.
Dave,
I would say be open to different styles, be open to different producers. Just because it wasn't made by a US playing card company doesn't necessarily mean that it's inferior. Many beautiful decks are made outside the United States, so be open to all of those different makers.
I agree. I agree with everything everyone said. There you have it. We hope you've enjoyed this glow up. Thank you